I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to the link in our bio, buy our products. Make sure you tell a friend. Go to our YouTube so you can click that bell icon so you'll be notified of our up-and-coming episodes. And just make sure you tell a friend about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. Let's bring the crew in. Shout out to C. So look, man, I thought, now y'all know, on the website I sell a t-shirt called I'm Mr. I Told You So. And I wore that t-shirt to Europe when I went to go see Mary J. Blige, and they loved it. And I thought I was real close to being Mr. I Told You So. And I'm very glad that I'm not. But Prime, Deion Sanders made an announcement about his cancer diagnosis and how I believe if it hasn't already been done, he will have his bladder removed. And he's still going to be coaching the team. Now, y'all know I said that once the boys was gone, he wasn't going to be coaching anymore. He was going to find a way to get out of it. And I was like, damn, I hate to be like, because of the medical stuff, he's no longer there. But he held it close to the chest because he didn't want to take away from his boys and their time, with getting drafted in the NFL and all of that. But what's y'all's thought process about the announcement, and does he still have the ability to impact college football and Black athletes in particular? Is he able, because of the work that he's doing, is he able to bring others up? And you think he putting himself at risk? Because he's got like a lot of shit going on, man. Like you saw where Anthony Brown what's up, what he's playing for the Steelers, AB, is it Anthony Brown?
Antonio Brown,
Same difference. And because like Deion's dating Carucci, which she allegedly, like he's dating.
Hey, that was the big revelation from his announcement, I guess.
Right, she was there, and like she got to be in her early 30s, late 20s.
She's at least 30, at least. I mean,
that's why I said early 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, we hope.
Well,
I mean, she's been around for long enough to be in their 30s. Yeah.
She got to be, because Chris Brown got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
Right? So let's see. How old is Carucci? Good old Chat GPT. Now, the hard part is spelling her name right. Well, while I'm doing that, what do y'all think about Deion's continued impact on, college athletics? Because we know that, this is a way for Black people to get education and to possibly build wealth fast. We saw where y'all's boy Trump tried to pass the what do they call it? Presidential, I'm having a brain fart. Help me out, y'all.
Executive order.
He signed an executive order trying to limit NIL deals, which is clear that he just does shit to
impact the Black community,
to play to his base, right?
Yeah.
So,
stuff that really can't. There's no way to enforce that.
There's no way. But there's a lot of young Black kids who are college athletes that had that mindset of Trump, Kamala, same difference. I hope they realize now that that's not the fucking case. He's coming at you. Didn't care when he was coming at your grandma's diabetes medicine, right? But now he's coming out the money that y'all can make. Hopefully y'all wake up. But what are y'all thoughts, man? I've been talking a lot.
I don't know. I feel like The first thing that I thought about really was familial wise is the fact that he didn't tell his sons so that they could focus on what they're doing, but he did tell his daughters. And for me, it was just like, dude, black dudes and their daughters, man. They be like, baby girl, I can't even lie to you. I got a lot going on. And I don't know if that's because black daughters is going to be more, are going to be more aggressive about making you disclose stuff that you don't want to disclose. Whereas your sons are going to be like, all right, man, you're going to tell me when you feel like telling me. Or if it's just some type of, connection or whatever. But
Well,
I kind of
he said it was because of her trade thing. He said it was because he didn't want to take away
impact them.
from time, but also traditionally in black families, the daughters become the caretakers.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, I think there's a reason for that, right? I think that there's,
Patriarchy.
well, to a certain extent, but I think also the way black men interact with black men is more or less this idea where it's like, I want to be strong for you, so you know how to be strong.
Yeah,
And around women, I don't have to be strong around black women. I don't necessarily have to be strong all the time. I can be authentically going through what I'm going through. And I don't know if black men realize that they can also be going through things in front of their sons. Because even if I've got the bar exam or, a big case coming up or whatever, don't disclose stuff for me because I'm going to be feeling like you're going through something and that's still going to be on my mind. So you leaving me out of the loop is worse. So I don't know if that's something that goes into our conversations about Black men's mental health, or if that's something that goes into the communication between men and women in the Black community. But I feel like that stuck out to me more than anything else. Because yes, we need to talk about Black men's health. Yes, we need to talk about how we need to get early tested for everything. Yes, we need to have primary physicians and we need to have people that, send us to specialists and review our test results and do all those things. But we also need a support system
yeah.
that'll, one, encourage us to do these things, and two, that will encourage us to lean on other people when we're going through these things. That man broke down in tears, talking about how God is good, but also your support system is good. God has instilled a good support system for you right here on earth. Let's also acknowledge that. So let's not forget to lean on the people that God has given you.
But those might be the people he told. Literally, I mean, the relationship though between the son and the father and the father and the daughter, it is different. Dynamics all usually are a little different. So he knows who to tell, who not to tell, who not necessarily that they're gonna spill the beans or anything, but it's just you know people that there are certain people if you have siblings, certain siblings that you go to for certain stuff, you can tell certain your siblings things. And I mean, as a parent with multiple kids, I would imagine you had the same thing. You can't treat everybody's not the same. So that coupled with the fact that the boys was trying to get ready for their careers and everything like that. Not to say that he's uh, trying to denigrate the daughter's
Yeah.
career. Like she got time to be here and caretake for me, but we see so much and so much of the time and energy he's put into his sons, and that they're in the spotlight. They probably have the opportunity to make more money, and so yeah, let them focus on what they got going on.
And I think it also plays into the old notion and idea that's proven to be true oftentimes that black women have a certain resiliency that
Yeah,
comes to maintaining the family. And I know plenty of sisters like, yo, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of being this. But it's like, my homeboy, he posted like, I want to talk to the women who gave birth without an epidural, because only those women can understand what it feels like when a man has a cold. Because you know how like when we get a cold, like we totally shut down.
Right,
Want to be
right.
baby.
Stub our toe.
Yeah,
We
and like no,
crying
when you
like a
get a
baby.
cold,
Yeah.
oh nah, man, but women be powering through cramps, all kind of shit. And we get a cold. Now I do think that we power through. Our struggles are different. Our
Mhm.
day-to-day struggles, things that we have to power through are different, right? And that goes back to what I've always said, how we're stronger together. So if I'm weak during this certain moment, I definitely need to be able to hold it down for my woman when she needs protection, she needs providing, and all those other things.
I want to go back to this crazy person comparing.
It was a joke. It
Wait,
was a joke.
wait. Before you do that, I want to go back to how our resident lawyer slash Bruja was preaching last, talking about God blessed you and God gave
Hey
you
man,
this. I
I
was
let it
like,
slide.
who's this?
I let it slide too. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let me tell you something. One thing that I will always do is read. I will educate myself. I read the entire Bible before I made the decision to turn to Wiccan. And I'm on my second read of the Bible. I don't want to argue people who have never read the book that governs their life because you're just telling me something that somebody else told you. But
You ain't got to read the whole book to be a follower of Christ, but go ahead though.
I I beg to differ. Well, you don't have to read the whole book to be a follower, but you got to read the whole book to have a conversation with me. Let's go there.
I mean,
So
but
Why am I have a conversation
lawyers
with
don't
you when
read every
why am I have
textbook
a
that they
conversation with
get
you when
all
you
the
the
way
Wiccan?
through.
Shit, your
Lawyers
soul.
don't read every case book all the way through.
Yeah, you ain't read every case law.
Yeah.
okay, so but you're going to tell me about a book you didn't even read.
We're getting on a tangent, you know.
We are getting on a tangent, but we're getting on a very good tangent.
But go
Don't
back, go
talk
back.
to me
So first of
about a
all,
book you didn't read. But the point is that yes, I think that there are good things, knowledge in everything that I'm not limited. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to try to learn everything. I'm going to try to be exposed to everything because I want to know all of the things so that when I make an argument, my argument is very sound.
okay, so going back to the resiliency piece that I talked about.
I think that Black women have this uncanny ability to see and understand the struggle, not just that Black men that are going through, but other people are going through. Because the thing about it is, the reason why we're so good at holding up humanity is because we can spot it before anyone says they need it. If I have to wait for you to be in the hospital to tell you you need to be taking care of yourself, we're not going to make it. So, what Black women do is we say, hey, I get it. This person, we're of a certain age. You need to start getting checked out. You need to start eating better. You need to start working out. You need to start doing this. This is not working well. I see this system. I see this process. It's not working well. And we start telling people before the system, before the process goes wrong, and no one listens to us. And that's the frustrating part about being a person who can foresee something going wrong, right? For us, we love our Black men. We support our Black men. We're the first ones to stand up, jump up and down, and fight for our Black men. And what we're saying is, it's like, hey, we need you healthy and strong, especially the good ones. So the good Black men, I need you at the doctor. I need you eating well. I need you well protected, right? Because it's like you guys are having a positive impact on our community. So I have a superimposed responsibility to protect the Black men that are protecting the Black community. And so we have this responsibility that everyone doesn't see, everyone doesn't acknowledge, and everyone doesn't appreciate. Because it's kind of annoying for someone to be like, you know what? I think you should eat better. I think you should work out more. Let's go for a walk. Let's get this workout and let's do this, let's do that. Or let's speak out about these issues before it becomes a primary issue. It's us, in my opinion, who are at the forefront of things that need to happen, and the world comes crashing down on us because we're angry and we're loud and stuff, but we are literally just trying to lay the foundation of things that make sense. And the things that make sense is protecting our Black men that are standing up for our community. That means their health, their well-being, their wealth, their resources, their finances. That means their access to health care. That means their access to financial institutions. All of these things are important to us. We're fighting for all of these things on the front line, not when it becomes a primary issue, not when it becomes a fight, when it is the like issue for everyone, because we know, like you've said 1,000 times, when America gets a cold, the Black community gets the flu or pneumonia.
That's what it is.
So
Pneumonia. Yeah.
we see it. We see it. We see it 2 steps ahead. And we start saying, hey, we need to do this. We need to eat better. We need to start feeding into this community. We need to make sure these businesses don't collapse, because when this goes south, all of this is going to come crashing down on the Black community. And what are we going to have to rely on? This. So we need to maintain this. But people don't listen to us. And that's the stress and the worry that we, hold on to every single day. So we're trying to uphold the Black man, the Black woman, the Black community, and we're tired. But resilience, we're trying to hold on to it.
I would say that I understand the fatigue. I think you're generalizing, and I understand what you're saying. You're generalizing. I think I froze, but okay. You're generalizing a bit because me as a Black man, I've learned the power of having Black women on your team, and I also learned the power of self-control and not trying to smash every Black woman that's on your team. Because having sisters on your squad, um, as a Black man, not only just having like a Black woman as your wife, but this like true to life friends. The sisters will protect you. They look out for you in the ways that you mentioned, Arika. They'll speak up for you. And I think the thing that most people sleep on in terms of like Black men, women have a way of seeing shit that we don't see. Now, I do think that there's plenty of Black men that are able to be visionaries and to be on the forefront of things that the community needs, right? But sometimes, we could be gamed. We could be gamed by other women or whatever, and y'all see right through that shit. So it's definitely a cheat code. And that's why I have always been on the forefront of like, no, we need to have our sisters at their best all the time. We need to show up for our sisters, like when they go into their doctor's appointments and their pain is discounted and they're mistreated in these by these medical professionals. Us brothers need to be there because they act differently when there's a man there, when there's a threat there, right? We need our sisters. The pay discrepancy for Black women. Shout out to Monique. We ain't got to do that again, right? But I think I've been proven right that hey, Black
There are
women
other people making that argument.
Black women have been
No, she's the first person that ever said that, Erika.
right. Well, shit.
And entertainment.
She said it the loudest, but you motherfuckers didn't start jumping on it until Taraji started crying. But anyway, it's I think that we have to stand up, and I get sometimes it gets frustrating. It does get. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's frustrating because while you are able to say, Erika, that we're tired, and you're able to articulate the annoyance, the frustration, right? You may be frustrated and still power through. There are some sisters who have become bitter, and that shit's annoying as hell. It just really is, and it's counterproductive, and it just creates more
Tension.
disconnection. It creates a bigger more division. Thank you,
Mm.
between black men and black women. Like I just saw in the news today, well, actually a couple of days ago, Trump has been, and I told y'all this. Trump attacking those government jobs, that was his way of attacking black people. They got ICE to go after the Mexicans. They got them coming after us with the jobs, for the government jobs, because that was traditionally a safe haven for black people. And I just saw a news clip where they said 300,000 black women have lost their jobs under this administration due to the cuts that they have made.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think that impacts us all, black men? I need my wife, I'm not married, but my wife, I need her to make all the money. I don't give a damn if she makes more than me,
I was
because that's
confused for a
us.
second.
We're a team. What'd you say?
I was confused for a second.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, all that she can make, not for the whole household,
I
not
was
all
like,
the
did I
money.
miss an episode?
Wait, I don't get
where, where
what-
you
She
got
thought you were
married?
saying you need your wife to make all the money. Like you don't want to make no money. Like she needs to make everything.
no,
You
no,
need to,
that's not what I meant. I need her to make all the money that her job has to give.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If y'all just listen
Just
and stop laughing, y'all just said I was saying because we are a team.
no, I said I missed you getting married. We had two different points of
I
contention.
just said that I wasn't married. This is
I know, but that's what I said. I said I thought I missed the episode.
whatever, man. Whatever. But I mean, you think about it though, hey, listen, if you didn't know already, it's getting real. 300,000 black women
Yeah,
losing their jobs.
yeah.
And so if you got AI taking entry level jobs and
Mhm,
management level jobs,
mhm.
where are these people who making 80, 90, $100,000 a year, where they gonna go find another job?
Nowhere.
300,000.
Nowhere.
In the private sector, this already been
And-
discriminatory.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And they
inundated
laying
with
off.
people that'll do for less.
Yeah, they laying off too. So,
Yeah, it's real deal out here.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, but they predicted the recovery from this administration was going to take decades.
There may
And we're
not be a
starting to
recovery
see,
though. It might not ever get back to
I don't know that they want it to be a recovery.
yeah.
Telling you, they elected Trump to undermine the federal government because the agenda is to strengthen the states. They've always wanted to do that. The states are sick of the feds telling them what to do. That's the beginning of Roe v. Wade getting
I'm gonna correct you. The states are sick of not being able to punish black people without being.
some states. We're gonna have to pick what state we live in. We're gonna have to move to the states that like black people. At some point, that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be
What
different
state
countries.
like black people?
California, I don't know. We're gonna have to go under Gavin Newsom or somebody. We're gonna hope that we get Stacey back in Georgia. I
Stacey,
don't know.
Stacey not coming back to Georgia. She ain't coming. Stacey never arrived. Stacey couldn't win.
I mean,
They now. They did cheat her the first time.
exactly. So we want her.
We can assume that
Georgia's my second state. We want her. She just hasn't overcome the bureaucracy. However,
she got running. Old girl running now though. Keisha
oh,
Lance Bottoms.
Yeah. The thing we're going to these states, you say they
Stacey ain't
love
gonna win.
they like
You got. I'm
black
sorry,
people.
Lab. You got Keisha Lance Bottoms. She might have a chance.
Yeah, no, she might. But I'm saying the thing about going to the states that like black people is guess what? All we got to do is carve out our districts to where all the black people is in one district. So it don't matter if you go there. So the key isn't going to these already saturated locations, is really spreading it out.
take over.
So we need you to go to South Dakota. You know what I'm saying? We need you to go to Idaho. We need you to go to Montana. Because realistically, they have this, a higher percentage of representation per capita than Georgia does. So everybody keeps going into Georgia for the same two senators, and they're going to gerrymander the state house. You can go North Dakota, go ahead and go to Sioux Falls or something, And I
Hold
mean,
us, hold a class then.
They're going just like Texas. You got all these black people in Dallas and Houston. The numbers are
Mm-hmm.
Austin, San Antonio. Governor Hot Wheels, Greg Abbott. They're trying to gerrymander the hell. They attack the black and Hispanic representatives in Texas.
I saw that.
Because
and
they know,
so then what
they
happens
know
is,
it's always been about their survival.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
The
it,
race.
that's exactly what it is. And so then they gerrymander, and then the states have all the power. So the state house is still going to be red, and then you can elect all the senators, but nothing's going to happen. The Senate can't do anything.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that it's the truth. But you know who gets some of the blame for this? Barry.
I knew.
Yeah,
I've
I,
been
I,
saying this.
I told y'all there were some mistakes that he made. But
Some.
I've said it before. There's this book called Dark Money when they talk about how I forget the Supreme Court decision, but the Supreme Court decision that allowed it eliminated restrictions on private money influencing elections. That's how
Mm-hmm.
that's how you have an Elon buying up the election, helping Trump cheat. I'm gonna say I'm an election denier. When Obama went away from Howard Dean, and that strategy of, hey, listen, we're going to compete on every level. We're going to compete at every state house, and we're going to do what we have to do, right? And it worked. And then they went away from that, and the Republicans, the Libertarians, they said that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take over these state houses. We're going to take over these governors' mansions. We don't have to have the presidency yet, but let's get these state houses. Let's get these governors' mansions, so that way we can start redistricting these districts, rezoning these districts, and the gerrymandering puts into place. And next thing you know, hey, we don't have to actually win. We can manipulate the game. And
that, that's
and with
that's
Barry being at the head of the Democratic Party at the time when this was happening, where was the why weren't you all more proactive to stem this movement that they were making? Now it's almost too late.
well, I think that a lot of that you're saying is true, but a lot of it also is just the Democrats in general. They're too reactionary. So I don't know that there were a lot of voices at that time saying we need to be doing this alternate strategy. Everybody was going along to get along, going along with it. And so when you basically won two consecutive elections, I mean, and most people thought that Hillary was going to ride into the White House as well. A lot of people thought that. And so you're like, we have a working strategy. And so then when that didn't happen, then that's really when the problem started. Was like, now what do we do? Because you were on the winning side. You were sweeping in the power then. At that time, they probably felt unstoppable.
See, but that's the point. We've been saying that they've been reactionary for years. They haven't had a real plan of action forever. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna give them a black president. We're gonna give them a woman. And they keep throwing out these Hail Marys, but they don't have a real plan behind it. And it's just like, how about you throw
Well, no,
somebody out there
I
that's
don't
actually
care.
connected with
I
the
don't care
people?
what he would have done. The current occupant of the White House was going to undo everything. And
Hmm.
so if it had been a traditional Republican that's in the office, some of this stuff wouldn't probably be rising to the levels that it is right now. I don't think.
I'm
We
gonna be
see the
honest with you. I'm at the point where I almost have to feel like the Democrats are somewhat complicit in this shit.
I
Yeah, I
think they
mean,
are.
that
Because
is something we've said.
it's
Yeah.
it's like it's like I told you I don't know if I told the story on this show or somewhere else, but when I first moved to Houston, and Dave Chappelle talked about this in the skit. But I first moved to Houston. I went to the club, and there was these two dudes, and they was playing the shell game, and they was like, "Hey, you think you can win?" And they played it real slow, right? They had the little P under the bottle caps or whatever. Actually, I think they had like the cards. So, and if you know, you never if they don't want you to, you will never win at this game, right? You know, when they have the three cars and they're moving around, or you'll never
Yeah,
win unless they want you to win.
car shuffle or some shit.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "Hey, you think you can beat him? I just won $100," and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, I could do it too." Now, to their credit, dude told me, he said, "Hey, don't bet your last money." I bet my last money, and they took my shit. So I'm sitting here looking stupid in the club, ain't got no money, but I still wanted to hang out. And then I notice I see them walking together as if they were friends, and I realized they both was in on it.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
so
starting to feel about the Democrats.
okay,
Like you
okay.
can't be that fuck. I'm sorry. You can't be that much of a goddamn punk.
But see, that's a good story, but neither one of them are to blame for that situation. You're to blame for that situation.
Bet your last money. You said don't bet your last money. That's because he didn't been beat up
What did
before.
George Bush
He didn't
say?
want to get beat up again.
No, that's not what George Bush said. He said, "What did he say?
If you fool me
Fool me
once,
once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Fool
won't
me.
get fooled
Fool me.
again."
Fool me. Yeah.
Nah, you fool me once, shame on them. That's on them.
yeah, nah, but
No.
see, it's
He told
not.
you don't bet your last money.
Yeah,
You
he told you
bet
up
your
front.
last money.
And what we are is right. We're the people that's buying into that. We're spending our last money on
Consumerism.
the people that are in it together. You know what I mean? And so you ever notice that those are the people that some of them just flip parties just like that. I was 12 years or 15 years. I'm talking about all these ideals that I have, all these things that I want to get done, all the things that I'm standing on. And then I lose an election or I get primary, and then boom, I'm in the other party and I switch. That makes no sense. And those people will still vote for him.
Yeah.
You make a very good point. I think the problem is that people lose perspective. Like people keep gassing up AOC. She was bartending and shit to make it to whatever spot she was in. And first, she's not there. She's not there. She had White House parties and gowns and all this other stuff. She's not still in poverty with the rest of us. So her perspective and her income is not the same
Yeah.
as the
But see,
people.
that's the thing, and it's the same thing with when you talk about the president, specifically when you talk about Obama, for them to get to a national level, they've already been compromised in my to me. So if you're looking for them to be to go in and do all things for black people or they've already sold that ship down the line for them to get to the places they are nationally. And so I think that's another thing, just a different perspective that I have, is that you just can't expect that from someone who's, because they've already sold that ship out.
Well, I'll say this because I believe in being fair. I do think that Barack Obama did do some good things
Yeah,
for the Black community. It would be dishonest to say that he didn't. And the same thing for Joe Biden. Joe Biden did a lot of good things for the Black community. My frustration with them comes when you're not able to meet the ruthlessness of the other side where they're at. You got to take your hand out your pockets. The time of being a pacifist is over. You're going to have to fight. And
yeah. But that's everybody.
I don't
Yeah.
see that in them. I don't see it in Hakeem Jeffries. I don't see that
No.
in them. And we sitting here hoping that, okay, the midterm elections will be different. And that way we can put a stop to this agenda that they're trying to steamroll. But number one, it might be motherfucking too late. And the
Yeah,
only
once
thing
they
that
in,
we
exactly.
and,
You don't ever have to vote again. So I
right,
mean,
right. But at least we
Got a
might
king now.
be able to keep him from putting another justice on the Supreme Court. But even then, I don't think they got the nuts. Even if they had the Senate and the House to be like, no, we're not putting one in. The Republicans did. And
mhm.
what did Barack do? Put up Merrick fucking Garland instead of
That nigga.
somebody
But
instead of a black woman.
again, that goes back to, and it's the ideals. There are people for the whole checks and balances thing to work in the American government, you have to, the baseline has to be that people are doing what's in the best interest of the country. And
Yes.
so those people are still, a lot of them are still idealistic, and that's what they go off. And so they're never going to be them people that say, "Hey, we're gonna stack that. We're gonna add 3 seats on the Supreme Court, or four seats, or when Biden had a chance." They're never going to do that, because part of them serving is their love for America, which, going back to the day, they respect the tradition of America too much.
Biden did make old boy retire, so he
Yeah.
Tajik Brown in. But why? How come we couldn't do that with Ginsburg?
But that all goes back to them undereducating Americans. The dumber America gets, the dumber our representatives get. So if we don't understand that we should be pressuring our politicians to pressure our justices to retire, when you're on a breathing machine on a goddamn plane, you shouldn't be making decisions that will sculpt the earth.
Who want to bring the machine? Sotomayor?
Yes. You shouldn't be making decisions
Hey,
America for the next
y'all
couple
need
of
to add. Hey, you need to add her to your little Wiccan ritual every night, because
send some prayers for her.
because listen,
Keep going as long as we can.
because she's the most gangster one out of all of them.
I love her. I do. I just think there should be an age limit. It's no reason why state judges age out at 65 and people literally die on the Supreme Court.
65 kind of young too.
No, the fuck it's not, because your principles, your morals, and your judgments impact your decision.
65 isn't.
You're 20 years past your intellectual, your
decision.
mental prime at 65.
No. Also, you're from a generation that doesn't speak to the generation of today. Times have changed. If you can't update your goddamn LinkedIn, maybe you shouldn't be judged.
Why she had to do that?
Yeah, no, you're seriously, your mental capacity that is high as someone like early 40s, man. Like, seriously, they've done studies.
They literally, they have done studies, they have done research, and they have made so many points that just substantiate the fact that people, although you may be the exception to the rule, we need a rule, right? We need a rule. You can be the exception to the rule. You can have a mental acuity that's beyond that of 65, that's great at your job, but we need a rule. And that rule should be nobody dies on the damn Supreme Court. You shouldn't have people dying literally 85, 95, walkers, wheelchairs. That's the most ridiculous shit that our government has substantiated in a month of Sundays, because we have a lot of crazy stuff in the Constitution, but letting people literally sculpt rules that will dictate how America is run for the next however many decades on their deathbed is crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine me making decisions for the entire world at 80. We don't want that now.
Hey, we don't even want our grandma making decisions for the family.
She's not even allowed to pick the dinner, the menu.
Exactly. Grandma just show up, and now, you know what I'm saying? So
at 90, at 80, you're like, hey, just relax. You're retired. We retire people. We pay people to retire at 60.
Yeah.
We're forcing retirement for state judges at 65. We're allowing people to die on the bench of the Supreme Court. That doesn't make any intellectual sense
at all.
Yeah, you make a sound point. So here's my thing. One last thing I want to holler about, because we were talking about the attack on Black people, and we always said it's a wealth thing, right? And this system doesn't work until we're at the bottom. And the answer is what we always say: we have to support Black business. We need to support one another, support those who support us. But I saw an interesting take by the owner of the clothing line, Actively Black. Do y'all have any of their gear at all? Are y'all familiar with them?
I'm
No,
from.
I'm
I
very
follow them. I haven't purchased anything from them, but I'm familiar with their gear.
So I have a pair of socks. My cousin bought me a pair of socks, and they quality socks. And I see different people wearing their gear, and it's quality stuff. Polo came out with a Martha's Vineyard line that was using Morehouse and Spelman
Mm-hmm.
as the center for the designs for this design release, right? And the owner of Active Black, he came on his social media and he said, "Hey, you know one thing I noticed?" He said, "I'm not telling people not to buy polo, but you have people looking at this. What do you call it when they release the new design, or I don't know whatever you call that, but they're looking at
relief.
Oh,
this
yeah,
latest
new release. Yeah,
this latest release by
yeah.
Polo, and I see they got like T-shirts that are like $150, and I don't see one black person saying one thing." He said, "But here I am, and they have this line. That's what it is, line. So they have Actively Black has this line that they're putting out where the t-shirts are 100% cotton, and they are sourced from black farmers, right? And they're paying them more than fair rates for the cotton." And he said, and people knowing that this is taking place from a black company buying from black farmers at a competitive rate, not meaning dirt cheap. But y'all talk about our t-shirts are too expensive. But Polo, and they can charge you 150 and you don't say a word. You know what I'm saying? So what are y'all thoughts about that? That psychosis that goes with that.
Man, polo shirts is expensive in general, right? So I I don't know that that's any deviation from their normal price point per se. So a lot of people are buying polo that buy polo. Um, Secondly, there's a with the school aspect that you're mentioning, people hold a little higher regard. So there's some people that maybe they will splurge for their alma mater, or because their son or daughter goes to those schools, or because their granddaughter just graduated from Spelman, or whatever, and they take pride in that. And there is a sentimental value that people can mark up, and you'll pay a little more for something that holds some kind of sentimental value to you. But I definitely understand his point as well, though. But yeah.
I get it because I remember different business ventures that I had, and I had people that wanted to support me, and they were like buying in volume, right? When we were selling the daiquiri mixes, and there was one brother. I said, "Well, man, you buying so many, I'm gonna go ahead and give you like a volume." He said, "No, no, 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 I don't want a discount." And I've always taken that approach when I go to different black businesses. No, I don't want you discounting your services or your rates. I want to pay you what you're worth. That goes for the attorneys that I hire. I listen, I'm always like, yo, what there's no haggling because if I'm not gonna do that with the white man, why am I gonna do it with the black man?
Yeah, man.
Y'all laugh at the wrong shit. Rewind. If I'm not gonna do that with the Asian, if I'm not gonna do that with the white man,
I mean,
why
I
would I
thought you
do it
were
with the
talking
brother?
about for food. I thought you were talking about food. Yeah.
No, we ain't talking about the food. Now, if I was talking about the food, then y'all be right. That I would be wrong. But I'm not talking about the food.
Oh, okay,
So I'm
okay,
not wrong.
Oh,
okay.
you still edit that out.
I gotta edit that out.
Yes,
Okay.
you can't say that.
Okay.
I mean, you want to get canceled.
Yeah. No, but see, the further the point though,
I'll never see us
you
playing.
talk about rest.
I don't
You
see
talk
us playing in damn Bangladesh, so I think we're good.
right, right.
Go ahead.
Wuhan. We in Wuhan, right?
No, we definitely ain't playing in
All I can do
Wuhan.
is advise you. All I can do is advise you. You can
Hey,
take my
hey,
advice or no.
hey,
That's all
we
I can do.
banned in Wuhan. There's many episodes we talk
All
about
right.
COVID-19.
All right. All right. I'm done with y'all today. No.
We straight banned in Wuhan. You better not wear that man listen gear.
Right, right.
Well, go ahead.
You were making a point, Laugh.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, there's like I said. While I see his point, there's same token. You can't you can't compare your brand to a long-standing brand. I mean, if we want to throw an analogy, it's almost like there's people that you go to Ruth's Chris, right? And they're a standard and they have a high price and such. And then you say, I'm gonna start selling the same Ruth's Chris, but I'm gonna have a food truck. And people are going to complain about your price more than they will about the Ruth's Chris price. It might be the same exact product, maybe the same exact, but it's just you don't have the long-standing history. You don't have the brick and mortar. You don't have the all that comes along with that, the history that goes behind it. And so you might have just as good of a quality of product, but that's just the nature of business. And I think as a businessman, you understand that. You know that.
I think we're the only ones that do that, though.
I think it's like Marv always says, if you could just say nothing. He's like, people are commenting about how much it costs. You could just say nothing. I'm not going to buy a $60 t-shirt, period, but I'm also not going to buy a $136 polo t-shirt. You don't have to get on the Black people own website and talk about how much their stuff costs. You could just be quiet. We talk about all the time about how you could just be quiet, and they could do that.
That don't
And
apply. That don't apply to the situation.
how?
But because that's the nature of internet now. Everybody's gonna
What,
comment.
Wait,
what
how
you all
does
are
that
talking,
apply? Please explain that to me.
I was about to.
Okay.
Um, what you all are talking about, you're trying to say, okay, it's not an apples to apples comparison. It's not fair to compare in that way. What the brother was talking about, and what I'm agreeing with, is that there is a mindset that we have to have. You can't look at something that's black and want to haggle and say, no, that's overpriced. You're trying to rip me off when you don't say the same about a company that is doing the same thing. China already exposed everything. China exposed how all this luxury shit is made in China, and they really just overpricing and milking all of us. They put like a special little bag to put the Louis Vuitton purse into, and they charging you out the ass. They already exposed that it's not that much better than what we can offer. So it's a mindset that we're talking about. And I think he's correct in calling out that mindset that if anything, you need to be paying full price to the black company because there's only so much of the pie when it comes to this economics, right? And in order for us to win, we have to take from others. And if you're willing to give more to somebody that doesn't look like you, but then try to haggle with somebody that does look like you, that's counterproductive. And it's going to continue to put us behind. And it's an incorrect mindset for us to have.
I don't think the people that are complaining about his are the people that are going out and buying the polo for $120. I'll be honest with you.
Fair. But
There's
also,
that's a possibility, but the people that are right, but then we need to educate. That's why we have this show because we need to educate those who are to say, hey, listen, don't do that. That's not the proper code of conduct that we should have. We need to support black people. We need to support those who are supporting us, right? A black man who's putting out a clothing line that has positive messages, that's trying to do positive things for the black community, right? Not just the neighborhood that he lives in, but with the farmers as well. We need to be supporting them with our dollars and not trying to lowball them because nobody else does that. I'm telling you, nobody else does that. Everybody else knows how to band together. They know how to take it on the chin. You know, when it may be just them, they may, hey, listen, we may have our little infights, but when it's time to band together and do the right thing to make sure that we survive, they do that. And it's a lesson that I don't know where we failed, but we have to try to educate the masses to do better.
wait, but so how does that not apply then? How does it not apply that if we say you should just be quiet if you don't have nothing positive to say? When I say they have comments about the pricing on the black-owned business, how does that not apply?
It doesn't apply because when C and I say just be quiet, we're talking about things that are negative about the Black community, but are also present in other communities as well. They look past it. They don't acknowledge their little trailer park cousins or whatever. But we highlight and give special attention to ours that are doing things that are counterproductive to advancing the community forward. Nobody else pays attention to that. So we say, hey, listen, if you disagree with what we're doing, if you're trying to get in the way of our progress, hey man, just be quiet. Let us ride and do our thing. Don't speak out. This is a calling out of a mindset that is getting in the way. So it doesn't really apply.
Again, I think the mindset. I mean, I agree with him. He's fighting for his product, for his small business, and if you don't advocate for yourself, who else is going to advocate for you? But at the same token, I will say in this particular case, it's not, the comparison isn't it just it's not one to one. I'll put to you, like, I just say that, and so I can see the point he's trying to make, but it's not saying the argument falls flat. But I don't think this was a good approach by saying, to help the Black people. They're like, Ralph Lauren is not hiring these Black people that are alumni from those schools to lead the rollout, to be the head designer, and so forth. So there's a segment of the population who's also going to say, well, if I buy this shirt, for Morehouse is going to get advertising for the school, which in turn could increase enrollment, increase revenue going in, which I, again, can instruct more Black people. So, I mean, there's,
Yeah, but if you could do that with a black-owned
but I'm
company
not
that's
arguing
using
that
a
point.
black-owned cotton company, then we are like winning, winning, winning.
No, right.
And I'm
No,
not,
you
but
can,
I'm
you
not.
can.
It
But
makes more
here's the
that
thing.
he don't go after Polo than not going after these other
But
people.
this
That
this
don't make sense
this
to
is the
me.
point that y'all missed though, and I said it right at the beginning. The brother said, "I'm not trying to tell you not to buy Polo."
But you are, though.
I'm not.
No,
Pause.
No,
but
we're
he
not. No,
is.
we're not. What he's
Don't
saying
bitch
is,
about paying
what he's saying,
136 and bitch about paying $60.
what he's saying is, don't give them all your fucking money, right? And
So
then
don't
come
buy
over
Polo.
and then come over here and talk about you need a discount.
So don't buy Polo. Right. Don't
That's
give them all
not what
your
he's
money.
That's not
saying.
what he's saying.
Saying
No. It is. He's not coming out and saying don't buy Polo, but that's kind of like, I'm saying, it's kind of like shading them,
it's not.
trying
It's
to
It's
not.
shading
shame you
us. It's not
into
shading
If
Polo.
you
It's
gonna
shading us.
give Polo $140, then give me my $66.
again, the people that are buying actively Black and complaining about the price aren't the same people that are buying this collab with
Years.
You don't know
Polo.
that. You don't know that.
Years.
I could probably say with reasonable certainty that they aren't.
No, but you can't.
I disagree. I disagree because there's no way. How do you prove that?
You can't.
So how do you prove that people aren't buying both then? That's what
Well,
I'm
let's
saying.
just base it on consumers in
We're
general.
going off this brother's
Consumers are paying
anecdotal. We're going off this
whatever
brother's
dollars.
anecdotal experience where he says, "I look at the comments for this new release by Polo, and I don't see one Black person talking about this T-shirt is too expensive."
I
But
wish
they're constantly
I
in
could.
my comments saying that my shit is too expensive, even though I'm doing the best I can to give you a quality product and give back to the community. He has a fair point.
I have Black people that I sent that I know have ties to those schools. I sent them the collab when I first saw it, and multiple sent me back, I ain't paying that much for that. Multiple. So while they might not have commented on that, I have a text thread I can show you that they said
You're
that.
saying they're not paying that much for the Polo shirts.
Right, correct. So
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. There are Black people that are saying that. So
laugh.
yes, but we're
I
talking
will say
about
this, but I
people
will
that are
say this though.
discrediting the Black company because, like, if you can get your Black-owned HBCU products from a Black-owned company that's supporting Black-owned cotton farmers and industry
You had
people,
to
then
ask.
wouldn't you pay them whatever you got to pay them to make sure that all of this Black
Yes.
industry line stays in line? Then we don't need to hear in his chat line how much stuff costs.
And
We need to support it.
and what I would
Period.
say,
That's
what I
it.
would say
Again,
to you, Lav,
you
one
had
second,
to
Lav,
ask
one
if you've
second,
heard of this company.
but one second.
I've heard of it.
What I would
No,
say
I
to you,
know.
what I would say to you is this, Lav. What you saying is probably I can't. It's accurate. 'Cause I'm sure that the people that told you I'm not going to buy that is too much. But just because they exist doesn't mean that there are people who try to haggle with black people on their products exist as well. And that's who the message is for.
No, and that's why I said he has every reason to feel that way, but I just don't agree that there's not Black people that aren't complaining about the price of the polo.
The message is not to them.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
The ones who are complaining, though.
Again, the people that's complaining about $60, like Arika said, she's not going to pay $60 to anybody for a t-shirt.
I'm not.
So a lot of those people are the same people. I'm not going to pay $60 to anybody for a t-shirt.
But if I do have to pay some money, considering I have a new Hamptonite or whatever the hell she is, I'm going to pay it to the Black-owned company.
Hamptonian. Yeah, no.
Whatever they call them.
Yeah, but no, I understand. You said, but if I was, but you already established that you're
But
not.
I do have some stuff.
That falls, to me.
But I bought it straight from the school to make sure that the school got my money. So if I was going to spend some more money, I would spend some more money with a Black company. I wouldn't spend it with Polo, for sure.
Yeah.
But do you not see that? And I'm not aware. I think there was that one Black-owned shoe line.
There's multiple. I bought.
And the brother was like, they got him. They looked like ones.
Yeah.
And I think he got sued by Nike.
He did.
Or what have you? Do you not see that by blindly supporting the others and being critical and questioning your own, that's problematic?
If you are a person that does that, yes, blindly supports, and at the same time, if you're one who's buying the polo and is critical of actively Black, yes, that is problematic.
Okay. Playing devil's advocate, I think that what Lav is saying is that there are people that criticize both.
And people that, again,
that
because
criticize both.
Sentimental ties and other things, I'm on about it. Because a lot of people don't know. I can't go into a store and see actively Black, right? So I don't know that even exists. And so when I see this polo collab, and that's why I said he's advocating for his own business. Who else is going to advocate for him? So the people that have Spellmanites or whatever you want to call them, Morehousians or whatever,
just make up names like I do.
Spellmanite is right though. Spellmanite is right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
I don't know about Morehouse, but Spellmanite.
They're gonna find a way, and typically I'm not gonna go online and research. I'm gonna do what I see when I go to Dillard's or when I go to Macy's or whatever. The brands I see there.
I'll say this, and then we can wrap it up. I think that both of us are making solid points.
Who is both of us? Which two are we talking about?
No, he's talking about both sides of it. He's saying, yeah.
So
Rico been confused all night.
I think we both make solid points, and both arguments depend on some assumptions being made. But I still feel that I get the general idea of, hey, we need to support those who are supporting us to the best of our ability. Yeah. And that's the general theme in the message and what that brother was trying to convey. So I think we can all agree upon that.
Yeah.
Cause I
as someone who bought the fake ones, and
I was looking, but I've been trying to purge, just get rid of a lot of things and kind of reorganize my life. So I wanted to buy those Kyries, but I was like, I got to kind of get rid of some stuff before I bring those in. And I don't know that line is Black owned, but I know that Kyrie put it on the line, and I think Kyrie was mistreated and mishandled.
Yeah.
By
I saw him at the store.
by the people that rhyme with rules.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
mistreated by them. So I want to support that brother, you
I
know.
saw him at the store a couple weeks ago. Actually, they look pretty sweet, man. I was like, man, I kind of
They
want
called to
some.
me and I was gonna
Yeah,
order them
yeah.
because one of the kids that's friends with my son that I'm real cool with, he actually was a part of the ad campaign. So that's what brought
Oh,
my
okay. Yeah,
attention.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what brought my attention
I
to
forgot
it. So
about
I
that.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, let's go ahead and get down with
yeah.
this. But anyway, I think we talked about it enough. Make sure you follow the show on Facebook, Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. Check out the past episodes. Click that bell icon on YouTube, buy our products, and we're going to get Arika together. Shout out to C. We'll have you next time. Peace.